Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday, January 21st. David Sikorsky with CCA Maryland saying Happy New Year again. I hope you're doing well and your new year has treated you right. I started the year off with a tog fishing adventure out in New Jersey, having a blast catching some fish before the cold weather pushed them offshore. I've seen some great fishing down in the lower bay, big rockfish, catch and release, of course, cold water. We want folks using the right tactics there. And we'll see soon what happens into the spring. There is some, of course, change on the horizon with potential regulations in Maryland. And speaking of regulations, the February special sea bass season was approved again. So if you get a chance, book a captain, get out there and catch some beautiful big sea bass in the wintertime fishery. We'll also see a liberalization of seasons in this mid-Atlantic region here on sea bass that is yet to be determined, but was approved by the council at the end of the year last year. Also a slight uptick in bluefish limits, status quo on flounder, status quo on cobia. Some changes are coming for redfish in 2026, where the bag limit and slot will be the same across all Chesapeake jurisdictions. And again, we're not quite sure what will happen with striped bass, but as we ended the year last year with a public comment period on the spring fishery and what the seasons might look like, we signed a letter with 54 other businesses, a sport fishing coalition that said yes to what DNR was proposing. And so the initial public comment period has ended. We're now in a period where it's being reviewed. There's a legislative committee review. There's another public comment period, and we will see if by April 1st, the process plays out to allow the seasons to open back up for people to go fishing in April. We talked about this a lot, and there's lots of information on our website, so I won't go into it. But the bottom line is we've had closure of our spawning rivers since the moratorium. There was no evidence that we needed to close the main stem of the bay to benefit spawning or lessen the impact on spawning. There's no direct correlation around a fish being caught in the main stem of the Chesapeake in April, spawning a couple weeks later up the tributary. And then if we're talking about the sheer volume of spawning stock fish, how many are actually caught by rec anglers? And then how many eggs are actually produced by the biomass we have that spawn in a rolling period? There's no measurable way that recreational angling can impact the future stock of striped bass, strictly in this catch and release period that DNR is saying yes to, and we are too. The bottom line is it's a balance of economics, and everyone knows that if you provide more days for businesses to operate, they can provide better benefit to the broader sport fishing economy that exists here in Maryland. Of course, there's disagreement amongst the sport fishing ranks, and that's expected. It's nothing new, and it's nothing new on this topic. We've always wanted to try and advance the knowledge and the actions of people so that they can lower their impact on these important fishery resources, no matter how they do it. But it's important to follow the facts and recognize what we can measure and what we can't, and where we can make savings and what the economic impacts are. And so we'll see what happens with the seasons in 2026, but I'm hopeful that folks can fish in April. We'll have an August closure, which is not ideal, but it's necessary to save some of the fish we have. And let's hope that this big blizzard coming will give us and our watershed what we need for a successful spawn. We need a high volume of success of eggs in the water column. We know that things like blue catfish and others are eating these eggs now. There's some studies being done on that. You'll hear about more in the near future. And so we really want to get to the bottom of this. And in the end, with fisheries, we can only take what Mother Nature gives us, and we have to be smart about providing the best access possible for longstanding fisheries to provide balance. And that's the case in recreational and commercial. This isn't one versus the other, or one group versus the other. We need to think about it in a big picture level, and most importantly, prepare for what's next. We might be forecasting additional declines or closures for the striped bass fishery. I don't know. Nobody knows. But we're going to find out with some scientific updates, some data updates. A lot will happen in 26 and 27. And it makes sense to give Maryland the most days on the calendar now so we can find some balance, approach our process moving forward in a more transparent way than what happened to create these rules in 2020. So keep an eye out on all sorts of different things right here on our website. Of course, get involved in the Great Chesapeake Invasives Count. We do still owe some prizes from that from 2025, but they are coming. That's a free event. It's always free, and will always be a great way for you just to focus on a different fishery and maybe get some incentive. There's lots of folks fishing in it that the personal incentive is knowing that they're providing data to DNR so DNR can better manage this resource and really just understand what's where. Some of the more information I'm going to share soon, I have to give a little hint towards because it just started yesterday, but I've got volunteers, Salisbury University, master's students, CCA, and anyone else that wants to get involved talking about working with DNR to get us on the spawning grounds, catching blue catfish, targeting blue catfish, not messing with stripers, and getting stomach samples, getting all the different things the scientists tell us they need to scientifically try and say, okay, what's in the diet composition right now, and what can we understand around the natural mortality of striped bass because of this? There's other things going on with striped bass. You all know I could probably talk about this stuff all day long. And then, of course, pickerel championships right there too. So whether we have hard water or soft water moving into February, it's to be determined. But please be safe if you're out there pickerel fishing. And it's a great segue to tomorrow night's Anglers Night in Southern Maryland with Eric Packard. Eric fishes year-round, sets records over 200 days most years. So he knows all about winter fishing opportunities, and that's what he'll be talking about January 22nd, tomorrow night, down in Southern Maryland. And then the Annapolis chapter will be holding their Anglers Night as well the following week with the same topic. And so when I get into the season and as we're getting ready to go fishing, Chesapeake Bay Boat Show is a perfect chance to bring the family out. It's a family-friendly event. They've got a fantastic website that explains everything you'll experience there. This is at the State Fairgrounds up in Timonium, and the 5th to the 8th. Come on out, check out your next boat, bring the family. CCA and our friends from Combos for Kids from Angler Sports Center will be doing arts and crafts and giveaways and a raffle and all sorts of fun stuff to make it family-friendly. And, of course, our great friends from around the fishing community will be right there in the corner with us. And brand new this year will be a giant tank with live fish. So think mini aquarium where all the cows are during the state fair. That's where you want to come out for the Chesapeake Bay Boat Show. Get your tickets now and check out the great seminars. We will be out there as our first big in-person event where we get to connect with our membership this year. I want to highlight some events in CCA Virginia coming next week as well, and that relate to an important advocacy topic that CCA has been working on since our founding, the menhaden, the most important fish in the sea, and definitely a very important fish in the Chesapeake Bay that we do not have enough of. And so Will Poston from CBF, their forage manager for the region, who's a diehard angler and a CCA member, is hosting a bunker talk on January 29th down in Richmond at the main branch of their library. All the information's at ccavirginia.org. It's on the link tree. And it's also at CBF because that's exactly where we're sending you to register. So it's their event. We're proud to work with them on this important issue along with other partners. And we'll work with anybody on it. We're here to say, hey, what can we do to get more organized? Who out there that's listening to me right now is interested in stepping up and getting involved in Richmond? The General Assembly is underway in Virginia, and I'm hearing bills about a moratoria on reduction fishing until. I'm hearing bills about studying, building a science fund. What do we need to do? There's lots of things happening with menhaden is my point, and it'll happen quickly. And thankfully, we have some great partners that are on the inside of working throughout Richmond and trying to see what happens. The best part is each and every one of you, if you live in the Commonwealth, can also get involved, meet with the patrons of these bills, talk with the General Assembly leaders, and get involved in Richmond. Now is when we need you to help make sure that your voice is heard. Same thing will come in Maryland. We have a legislative cocktail reception coming up that you'll hear more about because we want our members to come out and join us there. And of course, in Virginia, the Anglers Night Out is a great chance to connect with your local anglers here up in Herndon. So if you can't make it down to Richmond, Captain Chad Koenig is going to be doing a talk on his mastery of the Potomac River. The guy's a great fisherman, passionate angler, really cares about the resource, cares about passing the torch to the next generation. So you're going to really enjoy that and also get a great meal at the Amphora Diner. So come on out, join the chapter. Anyone's welcome. Bring a friend, get a great bite, learn something about fishing in the Northern Virginia, DC, Potomac area, and then also pick up your ticket for the banquet. So the banquet is coming, the 23rd annual, on March 14th. And we'd love to see you out there as the Northern Virginia chapter continues to lead the way for CCA Virginia. And again, to anyone else out there in Virginia, if you want to work with us throughout the region, reach out to me, David at ccamd.org or information at ccamd.org. And both state websites have various contact links. So you'll get to us one way or another because we'd love to have you involved. Let me get back here to finish out February. Kent Narrows chapter has an Anglers Night with Captain Steve Griffin. This one is top notch. You got to click on this and see all the details that Captain Griffin is going to provide. All about side scan. How do you use this great technology to catch massive redfish or cobia or whatever other fish that you can use this technology to catch? In fact, it's just about everything that swims. And so get caught up with what's going on here and just also meet Captain Griffin. who is a great captain and co-leader of the Maryland Light Tackle Guides Association, who is stepping up to lend his perspective as a business owner and help shape policy moving forward. So thank you to Captain Griffin for doing that work. Also, there's a chapter reboot for the Greater Washington chapter. Of course, we do activities all throughout the DC area, but the core group of our leadership had faded away and not done as much social engagement in the Greater Washington area. So Jesse Howe is working with some leadership to organize this happy hour, come one, come all. And throughout this year, you're going to see more activities in the Greater Washington area. That's, again, we're already doing things. There's a lot of great partners there are a lot of great partners that do our work in that region too. So stand by for happy hours, anglers nights, and maybe a science symposia or two to talk about our important work with federal leaders. So lots going on. As always, follow us on social media, follow us on our websites, share these newsletters with people. And as you think about it and you want to get involved in advocacy and habitat and just helping our chapters move forward, maybe organizing great events that can bring people together, reach out, because we're here to do it together. When I say join us, I mean it. And so I hope to see all of you in 2026. Thank you.